Imagine you're driving down the road and stop at an intersection light. You're the third car in line, waiting for the light to turn green. The light turns, and you proceed through the intersection following the two cars in front of you. Then bam! You're hit on your driver's side door, you are seriously injured, and you're taken to the hospital, only to pass away 5 days later. This scenario actually happened in 2006 to 17-year-old Katie Bolka on her way to school. She was hit by a 90-year-old woman who disregarded the red light and crossed the intersection, slamming into Katie. Incidents like this is why I believe it is important that we should require by law more frequent license renewals, stricter renewal requirements, mandatory driving tests, and testing caps for license holders age 65 and older. Let's dig a little further into Katie's incident. The incident involving the 90-year-old woman and Katie caused Katie's parents to set into motion Katie's Law in Texas. Katie's Law was passed in 2007 and states that license holders over the age of 79 are required to renew in person every 6 years, while license holders over the age of 85 must renew in person every 2 years. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, a road test may only be required if the license and permit specialist were to deem it necessary. Currently, the only requirement for in-person renewals is passing a vision test, which is good, but is it enough? Let's look at how age can affect a person. According to an article by Yomasu J. Siwe on understanding the effects of aging on the sensory system, changes to our sensory systems begin around the age of 50. Vision begins to decrease, night vision becomes worse, hearing declines, motor skills and reaction times become slower, and there is sometimes a lessening of mental acuity and depth perception. If a person's sensory depreciation begins at 50, then you can logically assume the effects will most likely be worse at 65 and as the person gets older. For example, an 83-year-old woman went down an exit ramp the wrong way, nearly killing a motorcyclist. A police officer wrote to the Texas Department of Public Safety, and the 83-year-old woman was ordered to retake her driver's test. Reportedly, during her test, the woman ran over a pole and turned left from the right-hand lane, along with other violations. She flunked the test 4 times in 4 weeks and finally passed on the 5th try. At what point is it considered one fail too many? DPS would not comment when asked why she was still driving. Situations like these are why I do not believe that having just a vision test is enough. And it is also why I think a person over 65 should not only be required to take another driving test, but not be allowed more than one fail. If there were more extensive medical testing in order to renew, then I believe situations like this could be prevented or at the very least reduced. Now let's consider the statistics. According to the NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in Texas, we have over 17 million licensed drivers. Of those 17 million, over 3 million are over the age of 65, which makes up about 18% of the drivers on the road. We can only expect this number to increase over the next few years because we have the baby boomer generation, which is 1946 to 1964, which is quickly advancing towards the ages of 65 and older. AAA estimates that there will be over 70 million people aged 65 and older by 2030. In 2019, crashes involving persons aged 65 and older accounted for 23% of all traffic fatalities, accounted for 20% of the injury-only crashes, and nearly 19% of crashes related to property damage. According to the CDC, drivers over the age of 70 have a higher crash death rate per mile than middle-aged drivers. For example, February 28, 2022, on Highway 31 in Smith County, a 70-year-old woman failed to control her speed at a red light, causing a 5-vehicle crash. She rear-ended one car, causing it to hit the car in front of it and spin into the median. The 70-year-old woman was taken to the hospital in Tyler and later passed away. Keeping our drivers safer on the road should be priority. The NHTSA, the CDC, and AAA, among others, offers programs for the elderly to assist with evaluations of their abilities, defensive driving courses, and other resources to assist with the aging person in driving. These are all great things, but the statistics show that there has been a 32% increase of elderly motor vehicle deaths since 2010. So are these alternative options really helping to keep drivers safe? We have explored Katie's Law and how it came to be, learned of sensory issues that come with aging, heard of different situations involving elderly drivers, learned the statistics of deaths and accidents involving persons aged 65 and older, and learned of ways that some companies are attempting to make the roads safer. I find that it just may not be enough to keep the drivers safe on the road. Therefore, I believe that we should require by law more frequent renewals, stricter renewal requirements, mandatory driving tests, and testing caps for license holders age 65 and older, because the next statistic could be you.